By the mid-1970s, the Southern Hemisphere was well aware that New Zealand-bred world-class gallopers.
Great champion horse, Balmerino, head just to one side. He goes not much better than a counter, 4 lengths clear in second place.
But it wasn't until Balmerino departed on his international odyssey in 1977 that New Zealand thoroughbreds rightfully took their place on the world stage.
And Crow, and with them on the outside, galloping into the picture too, is Orange Bay as they straighten up for the run home. But alleged to kick there as they straighten for the home with about 600 metres to go. Balmerino seems to have got back a little now, but he's coming out now. He's in about 7th placing.
Balmerino's career brought him honours and victories from home and abroad. These are just a few of the many trophies Balmerino won throughout his career. Yet like many champions, that potential wasn't immediately apparent. Breeder and owner Ralph Stewart didn't want to take Balmerino to the national sales at Trentham because he was such a small yearling. In fact, Stewart declared him one of the worst foals ever seen. But trainer Brian Smith knew there was more to the colt by Trick Track from Dulcie, and he convinced Stewart to race Balmerino from their Waikato base. That faith was repaid in Balmerino's 3-year-old season when he went from promising to champion with Maurice Campbell in the saddle. The young colt had developed an imposing physique and a racing temperament to match. The trophy collection gathered pace.
Balmerino and Caboodle, a great battle. Balmerino, Caboodle, Balmerino and Caboodle. Balmerino would have kept Caboodle out of. By Jove, there's very, very little in it.
A rematch with Caboodle came just 4 weeks later in the Wellington Derby.
Too good, he might be, he could well be the best 3-year-old in Australasia.
Balmerino proved his speed and toughness throughout a long campaign that lasted from the spring until the Queensland winter. Victory in the Brisbane Cup capped an outstanding season, which saw him race 18 times for 14 wins and 3 seconds. That was a race every second week. Balmerino was hot property, and the inevitable newspaper comparisons with the other New Zealand-bred greats were justified. It was only fitting that the Horse of the Year trophy should be added to the collection. A back injury prevented a Melbourne Cup bid in 1976, but by the autumn, Balmerino was flying again for the Air New Zealand Stakes. Space had to be made at home for the Awapuni Gold Cup and the AJC Autumn Stakes as well. The injury concerns were well behind Balmerino, and it seems that owner Ralph Stewart and trainer Brian Smith had more ambitious plans for their star performer. They had their eyes on the world's most prestigious race.
So what's the long-term aim for Brian Smith, Mr. Stewart and Balmerino?
To win the Arc de Triomphe in France.
Balmerino was sent to Europe via America. He missed the target race en route, but a win in California and at Goodwood announced Balmerino and New Zealand's arrival as a serious contender on the world stage. By the time Balmerino lined up at Longchamp in Paris in 1977, he had the country riding on his back, and he didn't let them down.
Seems to have got back a little now, but he's coming out now. He's in about 7th placing, and he's about 3 off the fence, and he's starting to make a likely sort of a run. Alleged in front now as they race in with about 300 metres to go, and here comes Balmerino out after it. He's about 2.5 lengths behind Alleged at the moment. Alleged in front from Balmerino. Hutchie's setting him alight. He's a big chance in the race. Alleged in front. He's 2 lengths over Balmerino. He's coming home with a great run. He's cutting into the lead of Alleged, but I don't think he's going to make it. But he's going to be second anyhow in a great run.
It was an outstanding result for Balmerino, and more success was to follow. He later won a race in Italy, only to lose it on a protest. Overall, he raced 14 times in 1977 in 6 different countries, earning him equal top ranking in the joint classifications for France, England and Ireland. Ralph Stewart launched another campaign in England the following year. Balmerino recorded a win and 3 placings, but was missing the spark of the previous season. The curtains were drawn on a wonderful career that yielded 22 wins from 46 starts with 11 seconds and 2/3. His stakes earnings exceeded $500,000. Balmerino was retired to Middle Park, the stud where he was born. He sired some quality gallopers, but was still regarded by many breeders as a colonial bred stallion. Yet Balmerino could still attract some very famous admirers. The Queen was impressed by his gallant second in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe and sent a broodmare to be serviced by Balmerino. It was the ultimate recognition for a true New Zealand thoroughbred champion.